Okay everybody, I gotta tell you guys a quick story. I was just at the gas station a few minutes ago getting gas in my Batmobile here, and you know, the usual crowd comes up to me and swarms me, people all around. All the usual questions, you know, everybody's asking what is it, where'd you get it, and the usual thousands of pictures being taken of me. And anyway, this one guy drives up in his pickup, he gets out, he walks up to me and he says, "What you got here?" And I said, "What?" He goes, "What is this?" And I said, "You mean you really don't know?" And he goes, "No." And I just thought, wow. So I said, "Well, take a guess." And you could just see his confusion, and he tried so hard to figure out what it was. You could just see the concerned look on his face, and finally, with everything he could muster, he said, "A spaceship?" I laughed and I says, "Hey, good answer, but no, it's not a spaceship." But the reason I laughed was because that's what I call my Cutlass 442. Ever since I bought it, I've been telling everybody it's a spaceship. And I just thought that was so ironic that he called my Batmobile a spaceship, because my Cutlass 442 is my spaceship. That's what I tell everybody. And it was just pretty crazy. So that ranks right up there with the lady who thought this was the Scooby-Doo van, or the kid who thought this was Spider-Man's car. And like my friend Madison said when I told her that story about the Scooby-Doo lady, she goes, "She must be colorblind and shape blind," which is true, because as we all know, the Scooby-Doo van is bright neon green and bright neon orange flowers all over it. And it's also a boxy rectangular shaped vehicle. So I'm not seeing this or that in the Batmobile. I mean, I don't see neon green anywhere, do you? I don't see bright neon orange flowers anywhere, and it certainly doesn't look rectangular and boxy looking. Or the kid who called it a Spider-Man car. Spider-Man is a web swinger. He does not fight crime in a car. He swings from a web. So yeah, that was pretty funny, but you meet some interesting people driving around in the Batmobile, I gotta admit. But in the 30 years I've been touring with the Batmobiles and playing with Batmobiles and driving Batmobiles, no one has ever called it a spaceship. So I just thought that was crazy. So I guess I have another spaceship now. That makes me the only boy in Montana with 2 spaceships. My Cutlass 442 spaceship and my 1966 Batmobile spaceship. Anyway, it's an interesting day. You meet a lot of crazy people when you're in the Batmobile, but that one guy, typical bystander, walks up and didn't know what this was and thought it was a spaceship. But anyway, he said a spaceship, and I said, "No, good answer, but that's not it." I said, "Take a second guess." So he looks again at it, and you could see the cogs turning. He was getting confused, and then with all his might, he says, he looks at me and goes, "A jet?" I laugh again. I go, "Yeah, I just flew in with my jet here to stop and get some gas at the gas station." So he really didn't know what it was. And I says, "You don't know what this is, do you?" And he goes, "No." And I go, "Have you ever heard of Batman?" He goes, "Well, yeah, but Batmobile had a roof on it. This one don't have a roof on it." And I said, "Well, the first Batmobile looked like this. The best Batmobile and the most famous Batmobile in the world is this one." I said, "You need to go watch the Batman TV show." So he's never heard of that either, he said. And this wasn't an old guy. He was probably late 20s, very early, maybe 30, but anyway. So, with that said, I'm off to Spokane in a couple hours. I got my Batmobile, and I got a good book. So what more do I need?